Are you currently faced with a decision and you are afraid because that decision is so big and you feeling like you're afraid to make the wrong decision because everything will just blow up in your face? So, how do we trust the unknown to make those decisions? Hey, it's your girl Sherry Summerbell. Welcome to my channel. Listen, I been having this conversation. Do you know how, like, when you have something on your mind where there's something that you're studying, and Facebook will go ahead and start showing you ideas of the thing that you've been having on your mind for a while? Okay, so that's what's been going on in what's been going on in my world. I have been in this space of talking about trusting yourself in the uncertain, uncomfortable, awkward situation to still make a decision. I have been on that for some time now because the breakthrough of that has been so powerful. So I'm in my season of really going up to a higher level. I can see it happen. I can see the quantum leap. When I'm in this creation mode, I can see the quantum leap. So what is that for you? That is for you because if you are a person who pretty much is tired of being stuck in decisiveness, I'm here to release you. Now, when I start off in this journey of creating a decision to stay, decision to go, decision, that indecisiveness, it really pulled to your gut, right? Is so when I got into that space of I don't want to be in that space. I want to make a decision and I want to, even when it feels uncertain, I want to be able to, because leaders make decisions, right? That's what leaders does. And you are a leader. When I decided that I want to operate from that space, I want to operate from self-trust because I believe that God downloaded everything inside of my soul, inside of my body to be able to do that. When I said I was going to operate from that space, the transformation that has been happening in my life, I think if you had watched my last video, I spoke more about that. The aha moment, the opportunity, the awareness, the creativity that is stemmed from me stepping into abundantly filled life. Now, the abundantly filled life did not come without me not trusting myself and have the idea behind it. When I decided to do that, courses that I bought spoke about it. My matter of fact, my mentor has been on this thing where it's called And So It Is. And it's like, hold up, Lord, what are you saying to me? It's like when you desire something, you start seeing everything else around you of what you is in alignment with what you desire. My son wants an e-bike and everything around him is like, oh, I need that e-bike. So he go on Facebook, he see that e-bike. He talked to one of his friends, the friend mentioned e-bike. It's the same thing with me, that this is my sign when I'm going to a quantum leap, and that's your sign as well. And in order to have that quantum leap, I have to hold capacity to hold for the thing that I say I desire. So do you, right? So I know this quantum leap of elevation is taking place in my life because my creativity got better. But the big aha moment for me, I'm not looping in this indecisiveness. And I could not come on here and talk about strategy and step one and step two. I had to go with the flow of what the alignment is showing me. And especially when I'm thinking in this manner, I'm experiencing it through my personal life. And then my mentor is also speaking in that manner too. And I'm like, what is going on? God ordained the universe for everything to just align with what I say and how I say it and what I want. And it's just such a beautiful feeling. It's just such a beautiful feeling when everything comes together and work together for your good. So, how do we get there? It sounds all wonderful. How do we get there? Now, I'm also going to tell you this. How did I get there? Sounds great. But what even sounds better is that when I enter into my next move community, this is a community of women who do not sit in decisiveness. This is a support decision community. When I enter into my community and my clients are also having that quantum leap. One of my clients has exceeded her 100K goal that she had for 2026. Now she's like, okay, it's exceeded my goal and we're still here. We're not even in half of the year yet. Oh my God, what is going on? And then my other client, I spoke about this being cringe and doing awkwardness and doing a thing that you feel uncomfortable because that's where the money reside. And she did the thing that I say, and 2 weeks later, she made $5,000. And my other client, she has been putting out content, and the way she's framing her magnetic message to put out content, she's been getting clients for her tax business and getting clients for her life insurance business. And it's just like, so I can tell you all day about what I'm doing, but my other client, knowing that the quantum leap off of me is also seen in the space that I occupied, it's such a beautiful feeling, because you want to be in an environment that exude the lifestyle that you say you want, that desire that when you say you want, because that gives you more confirmation of the thing that you truly say you want. Now, I just literally put on my Instagram, I say, you don't know what you don't know. I literally just posted that. And when I said that, is you can't work on the skill if the skill that you don't know is silent, is the skill that you don't know that you need help with. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write it here from exactly from when I post this thing, and it was surprising to me. Here's what I said. I'm gonna read it step by step so you can be in the know. you can be in you can also be in the know. And I said, you don't know what you don't know, and what you don't see, whether it's in your message, is what quietly costs you clients. You can't fix what you can't see. And I said, and when you learn how to know what you don't know, that's where abundance, prosperity, opportunity reside. So, uh, I think one of the thing is, the more I elevate in believing in that self-trust, the more my clients, they elevate in their own belief in their own self-trust. So if you're feeling stuck right now, I'm going to tell you right now the reason why you are stuck in this loop of indecisiveness. I'm not sure what my next move is, but Sherry, you don't understand, because the next thing is huge. I don't know where my I don't know how, if I'm going to pay meet the requirement, pay my staff. I don't know if I'm going to meet the requirement to pay my light bill, my water bill. What's going on? And I've had this business that's been big and in, but I don't feel like I'm in the overflow like I used to feel. Let me tell you, that is all because of the lacking of trust in yourself. That's what it is. Oh my goodness, you're looking for a big a big answer. The truth is, that's the answer. And when you don't believe in yourself, when you don't trust yourself, what tends to happen is you get in this loop of doing unhealthy things, like you binge watching social media because you just feel like everybody else's life looks better than yours, right? So you rather look at them for entertainment instead of trying to work on your own challenge or your own situation. Or you start drinking, or you may start doing things that you're not supposed to do. Start eating. I know that's me. Start eating everything, right? You know what's weird? My unhealthy thing that I do when I'm in this loop of indecisiveness and not trusting myself, one of the things that I tend to do, I tend to start cleaning. I tend to start cleaning my house because I get my music going, and I'm in my zone and I'm cleaning. So that's a healthy way to release that stress, that I don't want to call it dopamine. It's because it's definitely not. I can't think of the word right now. That your body literally go through, your nervous system literally go through, because your nervous system need to be recalibrated. And you're like just spiraling out of control. Like, how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix that? And you just feeling like, what does this look like for my life? And after you get tired of being in that spot, and because you've been in there so many times before, there has to come a time where you're like, listen, mm-mm, I don't know what I don't know. And I need to go in places that teach me how to recalibrate my nervous system. Because one of the things as an entrepreneur, we can bet life is going to be lifing. It not just from revenue standpoint, but from personal life standpoint. There when you're in entrepreneurship, you go through a lot of stuff. You go through divorce, you go through heartbreak, you go through releasing friends, and you go through up and down of your revenue. You go through so much stuff as an entrepreneur. So regulating your nervous system and know how to do healthy things to get it back into a place where you start trusting yourself and start believing yourself, it is so powerful, because we know that is going to happen. And the more you climb the caliber, the more you go big, the more you build wealth, the more there's so much things that I was telling a young lady yesterday. I was at an event. Yeah, your girl is outside, baby, in 2026. I am outside. But I was talking to a young lady. I was having a brunch or lunch at this beautiful Mexican restaurant, and we're sitting there talking. And she was like, she said, "Oh my gosh, I saw you twice in 1 week, or in 2 weeks." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "That's not like me, is it?" I said, "Yeah, I'm very selective about the places I go. I am hyper and super selective. I choose where I want to go. I choose where I don't want to go. And the reason for that is I want only to go to places that confirm what I already know about myself." Let me say it again in case you missed that. I am very selective about where I get my time and energy. It has to be based on, I'm in Florida, and the shuttle and the shut my house just literally rattled because the shuttle is about to go up. It's going up. I'm like, what the heck? Beautiful life of living in Florida. A side note: if a shuttle can go up into the sky, and when they launch, they don't know how the launch is going to go, or a rocket can go up in the sky, and all they can do is in their mind, they're like, "Listen, I don't know if this launch is going to take place, but I'm just going to go ahead and do what I need to do to get it launched, and we'll work with the unknown when it happens." And there are times that a rocket don't go all the way up and literally burst out, and they have to do it again. And that's okay. Anyways, that was a side note. See how God works? Anyways, love Florida. Love Florida, because the rocket reminds me every day that what's possible. Man is putting a rocket in the sky. Come on, somebody. Anyway. So, but back to and it's in line of what I'm saying, like literally self-trust. I trust myself that I can put a rocket up into the sky. Trust myself that I have a team of people that can show me and help me make sure that it goes up. And when it goes up, the world get to impact and benefit from it going up. Oh, just a lot of stuff, good stuff. So it's the same way. So when you are in this state of, I don't know how this is going to work, I'm not sure about this, how do I do this, what do I do? When you're in that state, I think what helps for me is now figuring out what is the healthier manner, the healthier thing that I can do. Because, baby, the unhealthy things that I used to do when I'm in this, when my nervous system need to be regulated, and I'm in this spirit of unawareness, and you're having anxiety and panic attack and depression and sadness, nothing can grow. You can't elevate from that space. When you're in that space, you can't elevate from the space. I was literally, before I went to the event, I some some idea download came to me in the shower, because most of the time that's where my download happens. Okay, so my download came to me in the shower, and I said, you know what, I need to know from my audience what they want. I need to know what they want, because my audience that I sit with, they either need three things. They either need their to work on their offer. They don't know if they have the strong enough offer that people want. Number two, they don't have system to sell that offer. And number three, they don't have the magnetic message to, again, attract the right audience to the offer. So those are the three things my audience usually needs help with. And I said, you know what? I'm going to lay it on them. This is where the download, I'm just going to lay it on them to tell me what you want. And so I just kind of sent out a post and asked them to, hey, pick A, B, or C. Which one do you need help with? Because these are the three spaces that I operate from. And I sent out an email when I got dressed to go to the event that I was attending. So the the replies were coming in so fast. I couldn't even finish getting like my makeup done or anything like that. It was coming in so fast. And I'm like, that when you're in alignment with trusting yourself and believing yourself, and not caring about what people say or what people think or their opinion of you, and you're okay in showing them cringe, and you're okay in sending out that email, and you're not second guessing yourself, is such a beautiful flow, because you don't wait. You don't have to wait for the response. And let me just say this: I was getting dressed to go to the event, so I wasn't even looking at is who's going to reply. Nobody's gonna, I didn't have any of those negative thoughts or low vibration in my mind. I was like, okay, send it out, let me go ahead and get dressed, because I got to get ready, I got to be there at a certain time. And before I could even finish my makeup, the replies were coming in so fast and so much. I didn't even have time to reply to everybody because I would be late for the event. But it just sat in my soul that when you're in alignment with what you say you want, when you are in alignment with self-trust and trusting yourself to make decision, and allowing the knowing that the decision that you make is the right decision, and you're sitting that certainty of it, you crafting that certainty, and knowing that even if the decision goes left or right, you believe in yourself enough to make the next right decision. When you're in that space, when you operate from that space, now it may be too uncomfortable for other people who don't have that confidence in themselves. It Trust me, I know they get obsessed with you, and just don't understand. I get it. I'm there. But there's a lot of but it shows on you start being aware that, oh, you have low vibration, you have low self, you're now being aware, like, oh, you can identify that, because you've been there, but you did the work to get out of that space to where you can trust yourself. You don't have to sit in that little girl trauma of when mommy didn't like me, daddy didn't like me, I hurt myself. When you get out of that space and start healing yourself and say, okay, that was cool when I was in my 20s, but now, baby, little girl, you got to go. That internal stuff. And you say, listen, I want more, and you can't go with me where I'm going. I have to learn how to trust myself, to believe in myself. I have to learn how to show up higher. And what I'm learning how to do, there's not a blueprint. There's a blueprint in my particular life for it. In other words, my cousin, my family member, I was one of the first one in college in my family. So, so it's kind of like, what? Like, so there's no blueprint for that when it's you. Now you may see other people who may not even look like you that have had that success, or you may, that's why exclusive is. Anyways, there's a different subject for a different time. But the idea here is you have to trust yourself that everything that you need is within you. You have to trust yourself that everything that you need is within you. And when you operate from that space, and you don't allow your bank account to make you make decision, you don't allow what people say to make you make decision, you don't allow what your family friends say to make for you to make a decision, because you live in a delulu state. And that delulu state is when you believe that regardless of the uncertainty, it will work out for your good, because you're going to do everything in your power to make sure that decision that you make is the right decision. When you operate in that, and when you operate from the space that believing that everything is working out for your good, even when you go through challenging situations, even when you go through challenging time, if you can operate, now I know it's going to take some time to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. But when you put on that practice, that muscles, when you wear out that muscle, that's everything that's happening for you is happening for your good. That breakup you went through was for your good. The issues that you went through was for your good. That client that left you and didn't pay and tried to ghost you was for your good. That launch that didn't go as planned was for your good. Because you wouldn't have known now what you know if it weren't for your good. So now every client that has ghosted you, you now know how to operate. Like, hey, one monkey doesn't stop the show. You keep going. You keep going. For one client that ghosted you, I was telling one of my business partner, she was in that loop of, this is not working. I'm not happy with this. I had someone do a chargeback, and I told her, I said, but how many other clients got served, including myself? How many other clients that you have worked with, that you have served them to the highest capacity, and they got help from you, and they're doing awesome? And I'm one of her examples. And I said to her, why would you spend energy on that one person who just seems like they're not, that they're in their own low vibration and their own low self-esteem? Why would you allow that person, now let me tell you something. Catch me on a good day and I got time, okay. But then I'm back to business. But I asked her, I said, what? And the reason I'm able to ask her that, because I've been in that space. But when you do the self-trust work, to believe in yourself that God don't make no mistakes, that He's put everything inside of you. When people try to manipulate your mind, when people try to speak the wrong thing or try to trick you, it is so wide and so open. You're like, that's your big one. Got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just walk in a different ear than everybody else around you. And then when you start operating like that, God started sending you people who also believe that, who also think that, who also elevate in that space, you know? So you just become like, I love this. I love this here. Now, does that mean because you're there, adversity is not going to come? Yes, of course, but you are in the most skilled thing you can learn in your business as a female entrepreneur operating a high caliber is the spirit of awareness. This spirit of awareness. Yeah, you're getting some backlash because you're the shit. Yeah, because you're confident. Yeah, somebody don't like a post, or they'll create fake posts because they're obsessed with you, or yeah, because look at you. Right? Oh, I didn't like the content the person said. What? Listen, half the time people write negative things about you are the people who are not even putting out their own content. Okay, yes. Would they be doing what they're doing if you weren't moving and shaking? No. So all they can do is take notes from you. So instead of looking at it like, oh my God, they hate me. No, I want you to look at it that you're operating in your own glory. There's not a person who is high caliber, Beyonce, Oprah, Taylor Swift, that has not been faced with adversity because they believe in trusting themselves. So trusting yourself does not mean that adversity is not going to come. Trusting yourself that does not mean that. Matter of fact, every time you set out to do something good, you must also know that there's something else is going to follow that is not good. It just come with it. Where there's love, there's always hate. You just come with it. So I want you to understand that what is the next option of not trusting yourself, not believing it? What is the next option? You don't have another option. And that's going to intimidate other people, but those are not your people anyway. So when you start believing and trusting yourself and showing up in abundance and like everything is yours. If you heard my last video, I was like, hey, I went to another store and two different stores, two different cities, and I found the thing that I want in its right time. It was just crazy. Please go back and listen to that video. It was so amazing. When I trusted myself to do that, I just believe that is people like, oh, the universe opened up to give you what you want. I think the universe was always giving you what you want. You just weren't walking in the awareness of it. And I'm saying you as in me. And it's just a beautiful place here. It's a beautiful place here because now you're not making decisions based on the $1 million that's in your account. You're making decisions based on you trust yourself because you know that the abundance is tied to you and not tied to that decision. So there's like, let me give you I know there's a word for it, but I can't find a word right now. So I'm just going to go with what I know. Oh, and I got to tell you this. Where's my ADHD kicking in? So I broke one of my nail and I'm like, I had to do something different with my nail. And I'm like, oh, how ironic. I broke the two middle nail. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to put my finger up. But ironically, the two different nails that's broken has the two different hands, right? So it just worked out. The design worked out without me having to make it work out. This is what I mean. Like the universe conspired to make things happen. I was going to the event. I broke my nail. I'm like, crap. Then I have two different design on, but it ended up working out because each hand has an example of one of that design. That's what I mean about just the world is working out for you. Just crazy. But back to what I was trying to say. Oh my goodness. So it's kind of like you say you want a car, right? And you know what kind of car you want. You've been honing in on that car. You know that car is for you. You've been thinking about that car forever. And then you went to the car dealership to look at the car, to smell the new car feeling, all of that, right? And then as you're driving around, as you're driving around, you get that car, you purchase the car. As you're driving around, you started looking around and you realize all the people that has the exact same car as you. When I had my Mercedes Benz ML320, I started. I did first of all, it was a Mercedes truck. So because it was a Mercedes truck, I was never even thinking about, okay, let me look at, but prior to getting the truck, I was never looking like, well, let me see if you have a Mercedes. No, I wasn't. I wasn't even thinking about that because the old version of me could not even think about I could own a Mercedes. So let's go there, right? So anyway, but the new version of me that did the self work, the self trust, and so on, I started looking around me and I'm like, man, how many Mercedes ML320 was in my vision? Like how many was around me and I just didn't pay attention to it. I didn't see it. I didn't pay attention. How many of it was around me and I just did not see it. I just did not see it. But until the truck was purchased, that's when I started paying attention to it. So let me ask you this question. Were they all was the vehicle always there? Yes, it was. But it's not until I step into the awareness of it. They were always driving around. But it's not until I step into awareness of it, or not until I unlock a higher awareness. So when you walk into the space of self-trust, your awareness becomes so broad and you realize you were already that version of your you were already that person. You're already that version. You're not becoming, you're already it. Now, it's just for you to hold space for what you say you want. And sometimes the inability to hold space because we're so indecisive, because we're going through this loop. And even when we say we decide, that we change our mind, our action shows that we are spiraling and all this stuff. So really, we technically didn't decide, right? But it's all about understanding, like, let me hold mental capacity, recalibrate my system from their mental capacity for what I say I want and for what I say I desire. And when you do that, when you show up in that manner, you realize all along my abundance and blessing wanted me. All along. It wanted me. It wanted who I am. It wanted the person that I am. The whole time, I just was the one that was lacking in walking in it. So if you're listening to this, especially if you're still here listening to it right now, abundance is already yours. You just have to decide, are you holding the capacity and the space for that abundance that's already yours? It's yours. Nobody else can get it. It's been yours. It just needs you to go in alignment mentally with what you say you want. That means the places you hang out, the things that you listen to, the people who get your energy. That's big. You just have to walk in that space of really being intentional about that. And whenever I'm marketing or sending out my emails, you can see that in my emails. You can see that in the places I hang out. You can see that who I choose to be friends with. You can see that everything around me exude that abundance. Everything around me, like, it's just became like this magnetic force. And now, does that mean everything is perfect? No. But here's the beauty about that. When things go wrong, because you're walking in awareness, you get smarter. You're like, nobody can manipulate your mind, or you get smarter. You're like, oh, okay, so that's happening. I got you. Oh, I got you. Reset. And I just that's a gift. of knowing who you are and whose you are. So I just want to challenge you to wear the armor of self-trust. I want to challenge you to wear the armor of confidence and believing and crafting that certainty in your life when you're about to make a decision. And remember, the decision that you make is the right decision because you make it right based on the actions that you take, based on the feeling, based on how you show up and the where you spend your time. You make it right because there's no action that you can take that was, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. Anywhere you show up, you are a light. Anywhere you deliver your message, you're impacting people's life. And don't you ever forget that. And I want to say with this, the people who has not done the self-work are the main one that is going to be a distractor for you. So you have to make sure that you do not get distracted with people who need a therapist, people who need people who need help. You have to make sure that you walk in a space that understand, oh my God, I'm being attacked because it's working. And that's one of the things that that I feel like we miss in this space. You're feeling like you're being attacked because you made a wrong decision. No, you're being attacked because it is working. It is working because when your light shines, it intimidates the people who doesn't have the same light as you. So of course, because you're showing back to them what they are not, and that can be intimidating. So you got to understand the signs and don't think because of this thing I did the wrong thing. No, it is 100% the right thing. Matter of fact, I will even say it's evidence that you're on the right path. It's evidence that you're on the right path. And because on the other side of it, like even in my situation, like my husband and I just went through a situation, and my business just went through a situation, and my health just went through a situation, and I'm in a quantum leap. Business doing what? Marriage is the best it's ever been. All of that stuff, everything. Like clients are getting so much win. If clients exceed 100K goal, like I'm like, oh my goodness. So guess what I'm doing right now? I am wearing this like this is the new normal. Like, but we had to go through that in order to get the highlight reel that you see on social media. You had to go through that. And I welcome that. Thank you. Thank you, devil. You did your big one, but it didn't work, right? So you have to really be able to say, my girlfriend be like, you need to start sending people flowers. But the truth of the matter is, on a serious note, I am now aware of why the attack was happening, of why I went through a health situation, personal stuff, why I went through all of that, why it was all necessary to create the quantum leap of a woman who has so much self-trust in herself. And I want that for you too. And I want you to say yes to being in spaces like Next Move that breathe that type of conversation, that breathe that type of outcome. All right. So but first thing first, make sure you get a Next Move. But the second thing is, I want to challenge you to wear that power of certainty. Like, hey, this is a decision I have to make, and I'm going to make this decision, and then stick with it all the way, even when adversity shows its face. Stick with it. Stick with the ugly. But when you're unpacking it with your nervous system, create things that's more healthier for you, whether it's going by the beach and going by water or taking a walk in a park. Like, create the things that's going to really help you to regulate your nervous system so you don't spiral into negative things like strolling social media or thinking sadness and depression and so on and so forth. When you're able to do that, it's just calm your system and the reason you're able to do that, because you are aware that on the other side of this, it always work out for your good. Hey, it's your girl, Sherry Somerville. That's all I got for you today. Make sure that you hit subscribe and hit the bell so you will be notified the next time I am on here. Talk to you soon. Be blessed.